What is up, everyone? Dominic here, and today is March 4th, 2015, and the current time is early as shit in the morning, 8:22. So, let's get the bad news out of the way. So, recently, I got my car, got the car tags for my car, and I basically fixed underneath my car because it was dragging a lot, and all I needed was some push pins to push it up, kind of keep the frame from like dragging how it was. So I took care of that. So I took it on a stroll on Monday, and I took it to Oceanside. And on my way back, like literally just leaving my friend's house, I hit a stop sign, and then I started going again. Well, apparently it wasn't good enough because I got pulled over by some cops. So they basically said I blew through the stop sign, which I didn't. Like I said, I did more of a California roll, but I stopped. I didn't sit there and do like a 1, 2, 3, and then go. I kind of like stopped and then went kind of thing. So apparently it wasn't good enough for them. But so they pulled me over and asked why if I knew why they pulled me over, and I told them no, and they said that I asked if I saw the stop sign. I'm like, yeah, I've seen it, or I saw it. He's like, well, why did you blow through it? I'm like, well, no, I didn't blow through it. I stopped. And I didn't even see, honestly, I didn't even see the other officer, because obviously you have the officer on your driver's side. And then there was the officer, like, on the passenger side in front of my car, which I didn't even see him. Like, it scared the shit out of me. Like, I heard voices, and I was like, where the hell is that coming from? And I finally saw him, and he's like, oh, this is right now what you're doing, this is stopped. So, so he asked me a couple questions. Shit, I don't remember what he asked me. Like simple stuff, have I ever been convicted or anything like that? Of course, I told him no. So, and then, he asked my license, registration, insurance, all that stuff. So I took care of that. Go back, basically my little argument saying that I, actually did stop. I didn't probably stop properly how they wanted me to stop, but it wasn't to where it was like, oh my God, I just completely blew right through the stop sign. So, they took my information, they went back, jotted it all down, tried to see if everything was up to date and whatnot. And then within a couple minutes, they were back and they let me go. And luckily with that, if, I would have gotten the ticket, it would have been $250 just because I simply, like, blew through a stop sign. So, a good thing, maybe if I would have argued with them a lot more, it could have got worse. Who knows? I mean, it was early in the morning. It was like at midnight. I was finally, like, heading home. And you've been seeing the things on news recently. There was apparently a homeless guy, or faked his identity that he was homeless or some shit like that. And 5 cops ended up piling on him and ended up shooting and killing him, like right in the middle of, daylight. So I don't know what the whole story is, but I mean, the lesson that I've basically learned, if I've ever gotten pulled over, and I've gotten pulled over a couple times. I had a San Diego incident. I had another incident in Oceanside a while back. Basically just kind of listen to what they say. If they ask you for your license and all that, if they ask you to step out of the vehicle, just comply with the simple things, and then, it'll make things so much easier, because if you're trying to fight with them or whatever, it can lead to bad things. So, and just the quicker you get it done with, the faster you can get out of there, hopefully. And the worst thing that can happen is you get a ticket and then you just go fight it in court, So, because you're obviously not going to have to pay it right there on the spot. You just say, hey, I'm going to just go fight this. And, hopefully you win it and explain your side. So, but anyways, enough with the bad stuff. Let's go with the good stuff. So, like I said, I did get my car fixed, so that's awesome. Tags. It's no longer dragging. I do have to take it, not this Monday, but the next Monday, which is my birthday, March 16th, on that day. I have to go take it in for a recall for one of the belts. So, I actually thought it was 2 recalls because I got 2 things in the mail, but one of them was just letting me know that my warranty was being extended to like 100,000 miles, and I think originally it was like 30,000. So that's good to hear. Um, Other good stuff. Purchases. So I actually got my taxes back, and thank you to Candace for doing those for me. Um, I put that to the side, in a separate account. But because I haven't really missed work at all, or I've been actually using my paid time off when I do leave, or not show up for work, and not going out, hanging out with friends as much, like I would love to do, but I'm just trying to save money and have goals to move out, by the end of the year, or maybe move out with somebody. But right now it's me possibly moving out by myself. So, anyways, having a lot of money saved, I figured, you know what, let me spoil myself. I haven't really bought myself anything in a long time. So I bought a couple of things. One of them is going to be very helpful for when I am doing my voiceovers and my gameplays and stuff like that, or when I'm playing on my PC. So I bought this bad boy. This is a Yeti mic by the company Blue. It costs $130, but because of my company, they gave me some gift cards. It actually cost me like half the price. So I mean, this is like the top quality. Like a lot of people who do podcasts and stuff like that, this is what they use. And it's a very good mic. They have like 4 different settings to where if you're doing podcast, if you're doing like a group conversation, all this stuff. And it's very awesome. This thing is actually pretty heavy. It's got some weight to it. So probably like knock somebody out with it. But this thing is amazing. I love it so far. So this is one of my purchases that I made. Some other ones that I made. Hopefully this doesn't mess with the phone. So I've never actually read a comic book before. At least I don't think so, from what I remember. And a lot of my friends, they're like really into like the Marvel, DC, universes. They know like all the backgrounds and stuff like that. So I was trying to think, do I follow in their footsteps, or do I kind of get into something of my own? Well, I've been a big fan of this, like probably since I can back, to what I can remember. And I actually started. I saw it at work one day, one of them, and I was like, you know what? It's something I loved as a kid, and I know this is gonna be way more graphic though, because it's not, what I used to watch on TV. But I actually got into reading the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I'm a big Turtles fan, and I figured I would get into the comics. Now this is, again, it's nothing like back in the day for the, cartoons from like the 1980s and stuff like that. So it's way more, you can see the artwork on here, on kind of, if you can. So this one is by Kevin Eastman, Tom Waltz, and Mateus Santoluco or something like that. So this is actually City Fall, and this is actually volume 6. So I bought this one, and the first one I actually bought was this, City Fall Part 2. So I actually got this one first, same artist. And like I said, I saw it at work, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I figured, hey, get back into reading, why not, do comics? So, and one of the things that kind of got me into it is I had a book a while back when I was working at the power plant. And so, it was called Halloween. So it was actually pretty good. It was a pretty good book. It was like the first book I had read in like years. And this was back in like 2000. God, this is 2008. So 2008. And it was a really good book. So I tried to look and see what else was out there. And I actually read this one by him, David Robinson, Prank Night, which was also a really good read as well. I really got into it. And then after that, I just never like continued reading books like I should have. And that's one of the things I want to do this year. I actually want to start getting back into reading. So most likely I'm going to read this book again and read the Halloween one that he wrote, and then maybe see what else he's got out there. So maybe get into even some, popular authors, Stephen King and stuff like that. So, but yeah, books, taxes, all that good stuff. So gaming, like I said, gaming is kind of been slacking a little bit on my recordings and stuff. So it's just really hard with the schedule that we all have, and we're hoping to fix that soon enough. So, and again, with me saying so, that's got to be like one of my New Year's resolutions, is just to quit saying so much. And I do it, and I do it, and I thought about just saying so right after I said that again, and I just need to bite my tongue at times. And I was about to say it again, too. Anyways, I'm going to use a different word. Anyways, with that being said, work has been work, it's been a pain in the ass, and everyone has that when it comes to their managers and stuff like that. It's like, you're doing a good job, but then they come and criticize you saying that something's wrong, whether you're working too slow, your work's not, up to par, something like that. And it gets to me, and it bugs me because I know I bust my ass off at work. And recently, because of that mentality, though, because of the way they've been saying that I don't work very hard, it's kind of giving me the mood of not to care and just go at a slow pace, because where I was, I've done all this training. I've done teaching, safety classes. I've done to where I'm able to drive a forklift now. Learning basically the majority of the departments in my area, all that, and what they thought was the best area for me to work was back in the trucks. And I'm like, so you tell me I'm going to lead, but you're going to throw me back in a truck. So my question is, how am I supposed to lead a group or even, move up in this department if I'm stuck in a truck not teaching anybody anything? So, and again, I shouldn't let it bug me, and that's the problem. It's just, and I'm pretty sure people have had this problem as well, when you bust your ass and you're a really good worker and just to be shut down. And the thing that bugs me the most is the fact that there's people who don't bust their ass as much as I do, and yet they're moving up quicker, or at least getting closer to the managers and stuff because they're kissing ass. And that's the truth. Like, you see this shit. There was one girl, very pretty, I'm not going to lie. And I think that's what kind of helped her get to where she's at now, because she actually got promoted to a different department. So now she's making like 14 something an hour. And apparently she's not doing very well over there. So, but nonetheless, it's, her, and then there's other people, and it's just like they're kissing ass and like texting the bosses and stuff like that. And these are guys, being like bros, like, yo, what up, homie? Like, hey, and all this shit, and so, and me, I'm not that type of person. When I first got there, they basically told me what I needed to do. If I ever found a problem, go report it. If there was something with safety, report it. And I always did that. And that's how I figured that's how it should work in the industry, and it did for a while. It was working pretty well. And then all of a sudden there's just a turnaround to where these new people came in and they were actually kissing ass and like, like, oh yeah, I like that team and da 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 da. And I'm just like, all right, didn't really think it was going to affect me that much, but in a way it kind of did. And that's what bugged me the most about it. And, it's everyone's like all buddy and shit with all these managers. And I don't know. Like I said, I know I shouldn't let it bug me, and I should still bust my ass because eventually it's going to pay off in the end. So, but like I said, it's just hard at times when, when you try so hard and you're doing you, and, your manager comes up to you and questions you like, well, what's wrong? You haven't been yourself lately, and you want to tell them the reason, but you don't want to say something to where it's going to get you in trouble and possibly let go. So I just kind of play it off and, just try to make the best of the situation. And that's all I can do. So, but with that being said, like I said, it's been a good couple weeks other than work, and the pulling over thing, which luckily, again, I didn't get a ticket. So I'm thankful for that. So, this video is a little bit longer because I don't have that little screen that I usually have, dual screen. So it's here now at almost 15 minutes. And like I said, it is freaking super early in the morning and I have not gone to sleep yet. And you could probably see it in my eyes kind of, and my hair's all jacked up and shit. So I was kind of laying down earlier, watching shows, and got a quick workout in. So, but anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna take my ass to bed, or at least try. I'm gonna lay in bed and just stare at the ceiling, because usually that's what happens, and I don't fall asleep for like an extra 2 hours. So hopefully that's not the case. I'll be able to knock out and excuse me, going to work at 6 o'clock and get an extra half hour's worth of work. So hopefully everyone has a good hump day today. So, and everyone's had a good year so far. And yeah. So I will talk to you guys all later. All right. Peace.